think it's just probably some cheap Mitsubishi that's only been around for a couple of years, right? Because, I mean, Nissan just invented the Kicks. That was never a model previously. Honda just invented the, what's it called? The CHR. Toyota invented the CHR. I can't remember the Honda version. Toyota just invented the CHR. A single model that's only been running for 1 or 2 years. But actually, the Mitsubishi Mirage has been around longer than Mitsubishi has even been in America. You see, Mitsubishi Motors officially entered America in 1982. The Mitsubishi Mirage has been made since 1978. This tiny little tri-banger nowadays isn't just some reinvented model. It's actually the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of this original model. Now, once Mitsubishi entered America, it was indeed sold in America. So how did it go? Has the Mitsubishi Mirage been running smoothly all through those years? No. Well, let's cut forward a little bit. 1995, right? The Mitsubishi Mirage is, looking okay. By this point, it's essentially Mitsubishi's Corolla, right? It had a small liftback. Think of it as sort of a Geo Metro of sorts. A very cheap, reliable transport, sometimes. With, the liftback, they had a liftback that was very good, and the Lancer was more substantial, right? So, by 2002, it was on its, different generation. It had been refreshed again, and this would be the last time Mitsubishi would sell the Mirage. You see, the Mirage is a good selling vehicle. It sells good cars for Mitsubishi, but it doesn't really, they only really need it to sell cars. That's the only reason why the Mitsubishi Mirage was around. A lot of cars are around, like the Toyota Prius, to start a new era. This was just around to sell cars. So, every single time Mitsubishi is doing good, they cancel the Mirage. And then when they end up doing bad again, they bring the Mirage back. So in 2002, Mitsubishi was gaining traction in the US, making SUVs, fast cars, and entering the drag scene, which they had been in for a couple of years. The Mitsubishi Mirage I wouldn't call it a cult car, like one of those cult classics. I would say it was modded, and I would say it's a damn good car. But, it's not quite the same popularity of the Mitsubishi Lancer, something more substantial like that, right? And then, that's cut forward a few years, right? 2008 hits, the entire economy collapses, mortgages, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, essentially, by 2012, Mitsubishi had used up a lot of their savings, and they could barely even afford to keep the lights on. So they needed a single car that could sell cars well enough to get money in the door before it would run out. They brought the Mirage back. Every single time Mitsubishi needs a car that will just sell and make money, they bring the Mirage back. Right? Because if you're a small little company that can barely survive, the Mirage makes sense. If you're a big SUV maker, the Mirage doesn't make sense anymore, right? The Mirage is just here to bring Mitsubishi out of... It's like, imagine this. They're in a boat, and then a spaceship comes and picks them up and carries them to land whenever they're sinking. And then they go back up on the boat, And then the more they go into the ocean, the alien comes back and picks them up. That's the Mirage, right? Whenever Mitsubishi is struggling, it brings back the Mirage. Now, again, I would just like to say, the Mitsubishi Mirage is inherently special to Mitsubishi. In fact, they put a lot of effort into making sure that this Mirage was almost the exact same Mirage that left in 2002. Now, let's say this was some other brand, and the Mitsubishi Mirage, they needed to bring it back, like the Toyota Mirage, right? They usually would just create a all-new different hatchback, call it the Mirage, and flip it out there, right? But no, Mitsubishi knows that this formula works. This small, compact, the cute-looking car does indeed work. In fact, it'll always work. It's worked since the 90s. That's why they don't change it. You see this cute little thing there with the big bulbous headlights? Wow, look, it's a cute little thing there with big bulbous headlights. This isn't just Mitsubishi styling. This is specifically the Mirage. The Mirage design elements, the Mirage is designed like, many other Mitsubishis, but it does have every so often have its own design elements that are not in other cars. And when they brought the Mirage back, they made sure to carry over all those elements. This wasn't just Mitsubishi bringing back, or just creating, out of thin air, a new hatchback, calling it the Mirage. They were resurrecting the Mirage, It's not like Ford with the Bronco, right? Ford just created this sporty SUV. They were like, what should we call it? The Bronco. We'll bring that back. This is now a Bronco. No, Mitsubishi created this generation of Mirage specifically to take the torch from the older Mitsubishi and carry them out of the funk that they were in, right? Bankruptcy. By 2015, it hadn't been changed at all. They know that this formula works. right? And it was working. It was selling rather well, actually. No matter what time it is, no matter if we're selling EVs, hybrids, whatever, people will always need cheap transportation. And the Mirage is that. The Mirage is perfect. It's absolutely perfect, right? The Mirage is cheap, reliable transportation. And yes, in 2017 they did update it to this newer design. I actually really like it. Now, I've never really liked the hatchback as much as I like the sedan, just because the sedan's bigger, the Mirage G4, and I think it looks a little bit better. The hatchback, So the Mirage is essentially just a small Mitsubishi designed to carry the company out of whatever they're into. Now, I've talked about this many a time. Mitsubishi's going steady now. They have the Outlander PHEV. They're up with the tech. They have the regular Outlander selling for families. They have the Outlander Sport making a fantastic first car, and the Eclipse Cross being like their sporty, crossover thing. They don't need the Mirage anymore. They're doing very well. In fact, they actually just signed a deal with Nissan, Honda, and Mitsubishi. With Nissan and Honda to make EVs. And Nissan has bought out a lot of Mitsubishi. They don't need the Mirage anymore, This discontinuation, well, yes, you may have seen my YouTube short about it. It is sad, and I think they shouldn't have done this if they had looked ahead. But, hey, you want to know what? My guess, right, and keep in mind, this is my guess, is that within the next 10 years, they will bring the Mirage back. They say like this: Mitsubishi plans to discontinue the Mirage in the U.S. market, which ends the vehicle's 46-year run. The Mirage is like a phoenix, right? It breathes new life into a dead company every single time, right? Almost went bankrupt in 2008. Cheap little, slight, nice cars like the Mitsubishi Mirage and Outlander Sport are what helped them carry out of that, right? In their initial ascension into the U.S. market, the Mirage helped sell, gain reliability, and gain trust from the buyers who would then buy more expensive Mitsubishi models. That's what the Mirage does today. That's the entire reason why the Mirage is around, is just to do this. And it does a very good job. Now, I can nitpick all I want. I can, I don't like that it has 4 lug nuts. The wheels are ugly. Bleh. I can bitch and whine all I want. But really, the Mirage is a terrific car. It's a car frozen in time. And that's perfect. It's just great to just see a car that hasn't been affected by all of our modern garbage. You must have a gigantic screen. You must have, googly boogly. It's great that we just have one single car that has not been touched by this garbage. And I don't think the Mitsubishi Mirage ends here. Guys, don't give up on the Mirage. Because let me tell you, I'm going to make a full video on this topic, so I'm going to keep it like here. You can watch that video if you want it. Mitsubishi has just been bought out by Nissan, essentially. They own more of Mitsubishi than Mitsubishi owns of Mitsubishi. But we're heading into a recession. Now, if you remember the 2008 recession, a lot of car companies sold off, like GM canceled, Pontiac, they canceled a few other car companies in like 2010. Like I said, there are delayed effects after an economic crash. It takes about 1 to 2 years for the economy to repair itself, and the car companies have just burnt all their savings trying to make it through the recession, and now they don't have enough to begin production again, right? So that's where it nitpicks a lot of the car companies. Like GM really started feeling it 2010, 2012, because, all the savings had finally been dried up and they were really starting to feel that effect. Because before they could just blow through the savings and keep production as usual, when they finally had to sell some cars, when people were looking to buy, it was very difficult to get those things back up and running, right? I'm guessing, and I'm hoping, right? I am really hoping, because currently our car market is way too condensed. Honda, Nissan, and Mitsubishi is ridiculous. Nissan is different, Honda is different, and Mitsubishi is different. They all deserve their own independent chance. They can't just all join together immediately, I think during this recession, Nissan will sell Mitsubishi. We've seen it with Ford and Volvo. Ford sold Volvo in 2010 after the recession because they couldn't afford to keep them any longer. I think that's 100% what's going to happen to Mitsubishi. They're going to be sold by Nissan because Nissan cannot afford to keep them around. And I'm looking forward to that day, the day that Mitsubishi has that chance. And I think, right after they discontinue the Mirage, we don't know when the recession's going to hit, maybe this year, maybe next year. I think the Mirage is going to come back, right? When Nissan sells Mitsubishi, that can be devastating, right? Mitsubishi's not going to know what to do, right? So when they do inevitably sell Mitsubishi due to the economic crisis, right, like I expect they will, Mitsubishi is going to need a car to take them out of that, help them, Armrest, center console armrest. Wow, really? Gain some storage and comfort with the center console armrest. You're telling me, wait, did it not have one before? I don't think it had one before. Anyway, not important. I think Mitsubishi will 100% bring the, I think it will 100% bring Mitsubishi out of the funk that they'll be in once Nissan sells them. That's when I think the Mirage is going to come back. So, Mirage, your current generation was great. I mean, even look at the model years, 2012 to 2015, just 2012 to, 2024. It's a good 12-year run, right? The Mirage goes out in splurts. Splurts saves Mitsubishi, it's gone. Splurts saves Mitsubishi and is gone. It's like the tide. Completely normal. And I'm sure we will see the Mitsubishi Mirage within the next 10 years. Whether Nissan sells them, whether anything. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I enjoy making videos about this. It's fun.